keeping on the themes of trailers that came out during Super Bowl, Chris, what is main topic number 4?
Topic number 4 comes with a heavy sigh from Rob. Vinesh R. I know most of us are buzzing about the Doctor Strange trailer, but I wanted to write to express how deeply excited I am for the Lord of the Rings show. The trailer was everything I wanted it to be. I felt like I was taken back to Middle Earth. Other than Galadriel and Elrond, I don't know who anyone was, but I really felt the magic of it. What did you think of it?
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yeah, listen, as The Batman is my most anticipated movie of the year, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power is by far my most anticipated television show. This thing I am so ridiculously excited about. They released those little images of the hands clasped, got excited. Then they released some of the still photos, got excited. And then they said, which to my surprise, that they were going to put out their first preview of it like 7 months before the show comes out. I still think that's a mistake. Yeah. There's no point in it, but still look forward to seeing it. I got to tell you, this trailer was everything I wanted it to be. Number one, because the show is still 7 months away, I was not expecting them to show us really anything. But just to give us a little flavor, what I was looking for was I wanted to see, with the budget that this show has, does it look cinematic to me, or does it look like a TV show? All due respect to The Witcher. I love The Witcher, but it looks like a TV show. And that's fine, because it is a TV show. Nothing wrong, and I love that show. All due respect to Wheel of Time. But Wheel of Time looks like a show that's being done as a TV show, and that's fine. I enjoyed Wheel of Time. I didn't love Wheel of Time, but I liked it. And that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're spending the kind of money that they're going to spend on Lord of the Rings, it's got to feel like a movie to me. And now, granted, it was only 1 minute long, and we didn't get to hear any dialogue other than some voiceover stuff that was from one character who, what are the forerunners of the hobbits called again? The Harfoots? Harfoot? So it was a Harfoot, the creatures that eventually evolve into becoming hobbits. So just other than that, we didn't hear any of the story. We don't know what's going on, anything like that. But I'll tell you what, for me, I saw exactly what I wanted to see. It looked cinematic to me. It looked beautiful. And especially when that, I don't know if it was a troll or whatever, that dark scene where the monster comes out of the shadows, and I looked at it, like, that did not look like a TV show CGI. That looked great to me. And so it was what I wanted it to be. I was not expecting the greatest trailer of all time. I was not expecting to hear the story. I was not expecting any of that because I knew the show's still 7 months away. Lots of times for that. But I wanted to see, does it feel like the most expensive TV show ever made? And to me, it did. And because of that, I was very happy. It still wasn't much, which is why it's not my favorite trailer of the Super Bowl or anything like that. Hell, it might be my third favorite trailer of the Super Bowl. That's fine. It gave me what I was looking for personally, and it upped my excitement for it. Somebody who's not as enthusiastic about it as me, apparently, is one Robert Meyer Burnett. So, Rob, you had a chance to see the trailer. What did you think about it?
Okay, now I should preface this by saying that for me, the thing that I'm most curious about in this show is this takes place in the Second Age.
Right at the dawn of the Second Age.
The dawn of the Second Age. So we saw the end of the Second Age at the beginning of Fellowship. The Second Age does not have Tolkien's voice. We have a lot of history and backstory of that era of Middle Earth, but we don't have the voice of his characters. And the voice of his characters are what make Tolkien's characters as rich as they are. So my biggest question about this show is not that it's going to take place in Middle Earth. I expected to get that from the trailer. And from that sense, it looks like it's part of the same world as Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, which is something I hoped for. So I got that from the trailer. What I really wanted was any sense that they had the voice of Middle Earth. I wanted to see some character saying something, some kind of interplay that sort of encapsulated what's going on. And we're going to get that. I understand we're 7 months out. But you know, when Fellowship was first announced and they started the ad campaign for it, there was a beautiful poster that just had Elijah Wood as Frodo, and they did 2 different versions.
I remember these, yeah.
And it was all black, and it was just Frodo's face, and he had his hand up like this, and there was the Ring of Power in his hand. And there was one, it's the same poster, but there's one where he's looking down at it, and one where he's looking up at it. And it encapsulated all of Lord of the Rings in one image. This to me was a generic Middle Earth spot. And that's fine. We're in Middle Earth. But I need to know, why is this different? And why I need to know that they know that about the show that they're making. I get it's in Middle Earth, but I'm not convinced yet from this trailer, that they have done enough for me to understand that I have to care about their vision of the second age of Middle Earth. I am not yet convinced that they've got it.
Okay, I hear you. But to me, that's kind of like saying they're creating this new car, and it's coming out next year, and they show you the drawing of the car, and you saying to them, "But I need to know if the seat's comfortable." Well, we're not there yet. Like this is a thing that's still 7 months. Really, what this was just the wide announcement to the world. This is coming. Now we're not letting you know what it is yet. We're not really telling you a lot. We're just letting you, the Super Bowl audience, know this thing is still 7 months away, but this is coming. And I just think, I don't know that it was realistic to expect any more from it, because I think once we get into the legitimate first trailer, like when they drop the legitimate first trailer, probably around June, I'm guessing. If they don't deliver in that spot the things you're talking about right now, I'm going to be right there with you.
Yes, but see, this is not new. They're talking about a new legend. I'm like, this isn't new. Tolkien's work, I read the Silmarillion. I got it for my birthday the year it came out. And I tore through that book because mostly it's an academic history in a way of the early ages of Middle Earth. And I loved it. So this is not something new. All of this information is available, and I didn't see anything from this trailer beyond generic Middle Earth.
But I didn't think we should have expected to see anything. It was just announcing this thing's coming.
I know.
We'll see what happens.
I wanted them to tell me this thing's coming and why it's different from what you've already seen.
See, and I don't think we should, and I agree with you, that should be in the marketing. I agree. You and I are on the same page there. I just don't think they needed to put that in yet. Not in February, when the show's coming out in September, but if they don't give us later exactly what you're saying, because you are 100% right. If they don't give us that by the time the marketing is really in full swing and they're really giving us a taste of what the show is, then I'm going to be concerned.
But I will say I did love the look, because the look made me, they're like, okay, this has that Middle-earthian quality, that fairy tale yet gritty quality of Peter Jackson's. And not that Peter Jackson's work has to be the end-all be-all, even though the Lord of the Rings trilogy is one of the greatest trilogies ever made. I like that I did appreciate that it looks that way.
Yeah, and let me ask you this. Do you agree with my kind of assessment of that? For me, the only thing I was looking for in this trailer was, does it look like this is cinematic in nature? And I felt it did.
It absolutely did.
Okay.
Absolutely did. And I was like, that's very, very cool. But the thing is, to me, that's not enough anymore, because they can make everything look cinematic if they want. We're getting a lot of TV shows that are shot in a widescreen aspect ratio now. And, Star Trek Discovery can look very cinematic. And there's a lot
times.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that, look, I think that there's so much richness that this show, I have high hopes still.
Right. And again, I'm saying I am completely in agreement with you. I just don't think it was realistic for us to expect that they would show us any of that yet. Hell, I don't even think they should have put out this trailer at all. I mean, it's 7 months out. I think it's still far too early. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyway, Chris, you had a chance to see it. The owner of the dog, Gimli, son of Gloin.
Gimli, son of Gloin.
I am actually very curious, as somebody who is really excited about this as well. What did you think of the spot that we just saw?
I was very excited about this. I loved it. I told everyone to shut up, because this was my moment.
That's exactly what I thought you would
This is what I want to watch. I was really, really excited about it. The only issue I have right now, and I feel like we'll see more of this, hopefully, is what I really liked about the Lord of the Rings trilogy versus The Hobbit was all the practical work on those monsters.
Right.
I really, really loved that. And so this was a real CGI heavy situation for me. The makeup looked great and everything, but I want some real old school creature work. And I'm hoping with this budget, we get that.
See, this shot, I think you can see like I'm guessing those are like, what are those they're fighting? Is that like orcs? They
look
have
like
pointed
orcs.
ears like elves, but they kind of look orcs. So yeah, hopefully that's a lot of practical people in costumes, stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Because the one monster we come out that you were talking about earlier looks great, right? That CGI monster. But I still just want to have some really, really awesome practical monsters in there that really take me into that moment and make me feel like I'm in that fantasy world. Because CGI is great and beautiful, and we've done so many incredible things with it, but there's just something special about a real friggin' monster that just warms my heart. So I hope we get more of that. But I'm stoked.
But remember too, even in the original Lord of the Rings films, like
We still
the
have
cave
that.
troll was CGI.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, there's still a lot of CG, but like you said, the orcs, a lot of the orc stuff is all practical.
They
Yeah.
need to have a good balance here. And I
Exactly.
hope they remember that. And plus it'll work to their budget as well. So
Mm-hmm.
and Ray, you saw it. Like you're not as excited about the show as a lot of us, but what did you think about it?
There's only one show that matters to me right now. That's Halo. but you know what? When you go back to these like fantasy with swords and stuff, there's only one property that matters, and that's Lord of the Rings to me. I mean, but this show, I didn't get enough from the trailer to really have an opinion on it.
Right.
I'm not gonna bash or I'm not gonna praise. I just didn't see enough, and I'm not the one to hold an opinion on what I saw. I don't have any, but I'm looking forward to it. Well, if the shows are really an hour long, like we're probably gonna be covering it if it's good, right, John?
Oh, this is my
Come
most
on now.
anticipated-
Probably.
Yeah, I am
We'll
very
probably be
curious.
doing a weekly thing. So whether I want to or not, I'm gonna be watching
You're
this
gonna be watching
show.
the show.
It's like, so
Hey,
whatever.
I actually heard a whisper. Now, I'm not putting any stock in this, so I'm not going to make a video about it. I'm just letting you know, it's just a side note for us to kind of file away for later.
Back in our minds.
I heard a whisper that the episodes were all going to be north of an hour and 15 minutes or longer, each episode.
That wouldn't surprise me because isn't there only 8 episodes in the first season?
8, something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, like, if that's the case, you're getting close. You get into an hour and 20 minutes, you're getting close to a feature-length film length.
Yeah.
Every week. Now again, I'm not
That
putting
makes me
any
excited.
stock in that rumor. I'm not going to believe it at this point. I'm just going to file that one away and go, "Oh, how awesome would that be?" I mean, it might help explain too the $468 million
Yeah.
production budget.
Jeez
It was longer,
Louise.
but we'll find out. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What did you think about the Lord of the Rings, the Ring of Power trailer? What kind of expectations were you going into it with? Were you excited to see it? Did you like the look of it? Were you kind of hoping for more? Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to take a moment and thank a sponsor of today's video, ExpressVPN. So guys, if you've been listening to or following me for any period of time, you guys know that one of my big concerns is often online privacy. And that's why I use ExpressVPN. Now, I know what a lot of you guys are probably thinking. You're thinking, well, why don't you just use incognito mode? Well, let me tell you something. Incognito mode does not hide your activity. It doesn't matter what mode you use or how many times you clear your browsing history. Your internet service provider can still see every single website that you visited. And listen, it doesn't matter who your internet service provider is. Internet service providers in the US can legally sell your information to ad companies. ExpressVPN is an app that reroutes your internet connection through their secure servers so that your internet service provider can't see the sites that you're visiting. ExpressVPN also keeps all of your information secure by encrypting 100% of your data with the most powerful encryption available. And ExpressVPN is available on all your devices. I mean, your phones, computers, even your smart TV. Protect your online activity today with the VPN rated #1 by Business Insider. Visit my exclusive link, expressvpn.com/Campea, and you can get an extra 3 months free on a 1-year package. That's expressvpn.com/Campea. expressvpn.com/Campea to learn more.